on Oberman Discord. Former NFL quarterback Mark Sanchez arrested in Indianapolis. Let's talk about it.
How you see yourself is how you perceived. I see a man strong, gifted, head strapping, never down on his knees, begging. Gotta make a way, even in my darkest hour. Say the odds against me was new. I would never cower.
As always, welcome back to another episode. If you haven't already, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and by all means, if you have something you'd like to share pertaining to this episode, I'll see you in the comment section. So let's get straight to it. This news broke last week, but I took some time before reporting on it, or reacting to it, I should say. And now that I know enough information on it, this is just bizarre. All right. For those of you that are unaware, Mark Sanchez was arrested at bedside in Indianapolis. And when I first caught a piece of the news, not the entire thing, I said to myself, now in order for you to be arrested at bedside, clearly he had to have initiated something, right? Because he was stabbed. So what stood out for me was that he was stabbed, but even more so, the fact that he was arrested really caught my attention. So now when I look into this situation and hear all the information about the person he got into a fight with, at first I thought he actually got into a fight with someone close to his age. But then when I found out more information, it became even more bizarre. Mark Sanchez is 38 years old at the time of this recording, and the gentleman that he got into a fight with is 69 years old. But if you're unfamiliar with this story, let's take a look at the news report, and then we'll return and speak about it further.
Learning new details about the stabbing of former USC quarterback and current NFL broadcaster Mark Sanchez, who is now facing serious charges. The late-night confrontation between Sanchez and a delivery driver sent both men to the hospital on Saturday.
But Sanchez is the one facing felony charges tonight. Mary Beth McDade live in Hollywood with the details. MB.
Yeah, Mike and Chair, prosecutors say that the area where this altercation occurred has several surveillance cameras, and so they have multiple angles of this incident. Now, we do want to warn you that some of the images of the injuries are hard to watch. Here's video of former NFL and USC quarterback Mark Sanchez clutching his chest after being stabbed during an altercation with a delivery truck driver in Indianapolis over the weekend. TMZ released images of the 38-year-old Fox Sports analyst being put into an ambulance and his alleged victim, 69-year-old Perry Toll, being wheeled on a gurney with a towel wrapped around his head. Toll's family later released these pictures of his injuries.
The probable cause outlines kind of the initial nature of that dispute. We are literally talking about people fighting over a parking space.
Sanchez had reportedly been acting erratically and doing sprints in an alley between two hotels around 12:30 Saturday morning. According to court documents, Toll arrived in his delivery truck and parked it in a loading dock by one of the hotels to change out the hotel's cooking oil. The truck was blocking Sanchez's running path, so Sanchez allegedly approached Toll and told him to move his truck. The driver told police Sanchez smelled like alcohol and was slurring his speech. When Toll didn't move his truck, Sanchez apparently body slammed the driver. Toll told police he then pepper sprayed Sanchez, but Sanchez continued to attack him. So Toll pulled out a knife and stabbed Sanchez, believing Sanchez was trying to kill him. Sanchez then left the alley and sought help at a nearby bar.
Brought him inside, laid him down, and we called 911, put towels over the injuries that he had.
Sanchez, who had been in town to cover Sunday's Colts versus Raiders game, was initially arrested for several misdemeanors, but based on the level of Toll's injuries, is now facing a felony.
We have filed a felony charge, a level 5 felony of battery involving serious bodily injury, which contains a penalty of 1 to 6 years.
Toll also filed a civil lawsuit against Sanchez and his employer, Fox. Toll claims he suffered severe permanent disfigurement. And Sanchez's brother released a statement tonight saying in part that this is deeply distressing for everyone involved, and he remains under medical care for the serious injuries that he suffered. He is focused on his recovery as the legal process continues. Sanchez has pled not guilty. For now, reporting live here in Hollywood, Mary Beth McDade. We'll send it back to you guys in the studio.
All right, Mary Beth, thank you.
All right. That's the news report. And there's no way around it. This is a situation where either we address alcoholism or we act like it doesn't exist. We all know someone, family member, friends, that abuse alcohol. Now, for all the viewers watching this episode, we also know whether or not we display any effort to give them some advice as to seeking help. And by all means, I know it's not easy, because when you have an addiction, whether it be drugs or alcohol, it's hard to receive help. It's hard to give someone who is addicted to alcohol and drugs, it's hard to help them. But what this is about is, well before this incident happened in Indianapolis, my question is, were there any signs of Mark Sanchez? And this is the question for people who know him personally, because clearly those that don't know him personally won't be able to answer this, so maybe they will. Did he show any signs of not being able to control his alcohol? Did he show any signs of possible drug use? Were there attempts to help him? Maybe they were, maybe they weren't. I can't speak to that. But clearly, he can't control his alcohol. All right? If you disagree with me saying that, I'll see you in the comment section. But please, as always, say more than one word. Please justify how you feel Mark Sanchez is able to control his alcohol. Because there's nothing about this story that makes any sense as far as how you can justify ending up stabbed and in a hospital after fighting a 69-year-old. First of all, why did he even engage the guy about where he parked? Was he trying to get by? And even if he was trying to get by, clearly if he was sober, I want to believe when he sees the gentleman and sees that he's not a threat, a 69-year-old, the guy in the photo looks very frail. You mean to tell me if he was sober or aware of what he was doing, he would have engaged somebody that's 69 years old with the body type that this man has? Right? So you get in an argument with this guy about where he's parked. Meanwhile, he's authorized to park there because, unlike Mark Sanchez, he has a relationship with the hotel and he makes his runs to this particular hotel. So why is Mark Sanchez acting as though he works for the hotel? Was he that far gone that he, in that moment, felt as though he was authorized to tell this guy to move his truck? Then furthermore, you're hopping inside the guy's truck. I mean, listen, you cannot tell me that this isn't a situation that requires intervention. And again, I'm not even sure if his close friends, family hasn't tried already. But you're not going to tell me that this is just a one and done incident. You're not going to tell me that he hasn't displayed some type of erratic behavior before. And yes, I don't know Mark Sanchez personally, but this is just completely bizarre. And again, those watching this video, we all know someone, or we know a group of people that have gone from partying socially and drinking to it's a lifestyle. And we know who these people are. These people, you know, on their lunch break, they're sneaking drinks in their containers, their water bottle, or they're pouring out soda to put a little bit of liquor in their soda bottle. We know these people. All right, I know I'm not the only one that knows people like this. And clearly, Mark Sanchez needs help. And maybe this had to happen in order for him to realize he's gone too far. This is an embarrassment for his family, embarrassment for himself, and his legacy. Because no matter what, anytime you look up Mark Sanchez, I'm sure you're going to see this report now that this came out. And I can only imagine how grateful he is that he didn't kill the guy by accident, as frail as that guy looks. I'm glad that, the best part of this story, which there is no good out of this story, but if I was to point out a good point in this story, is the fact that the guy is still alive. But by all accounts, Mark Sanchez is completely wrong. But let's take a look at some of the reactions to this whole debacle, and then we'll speak about it after.
We're learning more details about the 69-year-old man who police say defended himself against former NFL quarterback and Fox analyst Mark Sanchez early Saturday morning. His name is Perry Toll, and he's being represented by Indiana attorney Eric May. May told CBS News in an interview that Toll was a longtime employee of the company that he drove the delivery truck for, and that he had just won Employee of the Quarter. He says he became a U.S. citizen last month and that he's originally from Jamaica. We're also told that Toll plays guitar in his church band. During the interview, May told CBS News that his client, Perry Toll, did not know who Mark Sanchez was, and that it's really hard for him to talk due to the laceration on his cheek that went through and damaged his tongue. He says that his injuries are causing him a lot of pain. And when police asked him on a scale of 1 to 10 what those injuries were rated, he gave them a 10. May also shared some of the questions that still remain in this investigation, and this is what he said.
Was he intoxicated? Where was he getting the alcohol? Where was he at before this altercation occurred? All those things we don't know yet. But certainly what Perry told the police department is accurate, just based on the size of Mr. Sanchez, the behavior that he was exhibiting. I can say certainly that Mr. Toll feared for his life at that point.
We've also received a statement from Sanchez's brother on behalf of his family. It reads, quote, "This has been a deeply distressing time for everyone involved. Mark and our family are incredibly grateful for the concern, love, and support that we've received in the past few days. Mark remains under medical care for the serious injuries he sustained and is focused on his recovery as the legal process continued." As we've reported, Toll is now suing both Mark Sanchez and the Fox Corporation. The counts listed in the lawsuit are assault/battery and negligent hiring. The filing reads, quote, "Fox Corporation knew or should have known about Sanchez's unfitness as an employee, propensity for drinking, and or harmful conduct." But of course, we'll continue to follow all of this as it unfolds. For the most up-to-date coverage, follow us on Fox 59, CBS 4 News here in Indianapolis.
So that's all I have on this. I just want to say this. I think the best thing to do is to not drink at all. And I'm saying that as someone who drinks on occasion. But if it's going to lead to behavior like this, it's best not to drink at all. Not everyone is capable of enjoying a drink socially and on occasions. Some people, unfortunately, they get addicted to it, and the partying you think you're doing in high school and the partying you're doing in college sometimes becomes a lifestyle for you, where you can't party or enjoy a special occasion without a drink. And I know it's easier said than done, because there's peer pressure or just social atmospheres with family. If you're around family members that they don't know anything about anything other than liquor, it's hard to say no if you're in those type of surroundings. But this is one of many examples of why liquor isn't the greatest option. Of course, we have other options where people drive whilst drunk, and we see the aftermath of that. But this entire thing could have been avoided had he been sober. I really don't believe Mark Sanchez would have did this if he was sober. I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt. And again, I don't know him personally, but I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt that If he was sober, this wouldn't have happened. But what's your thoughts on this episode? As always, I appreciate everyone for tuning in. If you haven't already, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, tell a friend to tell a friend. I drop episodes daily at 5 p.m. Eastern Time, and I appreciate all of you. As always, stay honorable.